It is Oscar Sunday, and Robert De Niro is nominated, which we're going to get to in a minute. So I guess he left New York for L.A., and while he's in town for the Oscars, he sat down with Bill Maher for a super enlightening discussion about the 2024 presidential election. Here's Robert De Niro on Donald Trump.
Bottom line is, it's Biden versus Trump. We want to live in a world that we want to live in and enjoy living in, or live in a nightmare. Vote for Trump, and you'll get the nightmare. Vote for Biden, and we'll be back to normalcy.
The reason Trump was ever president is because so many people were living in nightmare before Donald Trump. Now, maybe you weren't because you're a rich movie star, but that just right there shows a lack of understanding. Now, if we pause it every time he demonstrates a lack of understanding, this would literally be the whole show. So,
well, and also, Biden's been president for 4 years, and we're not back to normalcy.
Yeah, where's the normalcy?
So where's the normalcy? Things just getting fucking weirder from where I'm sitting.
They're putting the military in the subways, which we're going to get to in just a few minutes.
They're putting. So I am going home to some kind of escape from New York dystopian hellscape.
Yeah.
You know, what are you talking about? You got the cops jacking protesters, which we may or may not get to today. Look, man, I've seen the NYPD take down plenty of people. Like the way they did that, that's very tactical.
Yeah.
And now you've got the National Guard in the subway. It's been really eye-opening hopping around different parts of the country this year, because every place is just fucking collapsing and falling apart and past peak and in decline. Just everywhere has the same vibe of decay and collapse.
Well, that's why. I mean, if we give Biden a second term, that's when the normalcy is going to kick back in, right?
Yeah, we're just like Obama's second term.
Right? Yeah, right. Just like Obama's second term. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why is Trump winning? I mean, the New York Times poll this week came out, and maybe this will change it with the State of the Union address, but Trump was beating him rather soundly. It was quite a warning light, 48-43, also winning way more among women than he had before, winning outright Latinos. What do you attribute that to?
I don't know. I just don't want to feel the way I did, and many of us don't, after the election in 2016, where we couldn't believe that it happened. The guy is a total monster. And anybody, I don't understand it. I guess they get behind that kind of logic. They want to fuck with people, screw them, because they're unhappy about something. He's such a mean, nasty, hateful person. I'd never play him as an actor, because I can't see any good in him.
You insulted him a little bit. You got a little out of order yourself.
Oh, who's that? Who's that? Is that you? Is that you 30 years ago? Is that you 30 years ago, Mr. De Niro? Okay, this I love. I would never play him as an actor because I can't see any good in him. Now, we all know Robert De Niro has played many villainous characters in the past, including the actual devil.
He played the devil in Angel Heart.
Yeah.
You just played a cut of him when he played psychopath Jimmy Conway.
Exactly.
Who went on to murder most of the people in his crew rather than to give them their cut of a heist. I'd say that's a pretty evil guy.
The irony of this is just amazing. Let me play this one more time.
Logic. I'd never play him as an actor, because I can't see any good in him.
I'd never play him as an actor because I can't see any good in him. Robert De Niro, like I said earlier, is nominated for an Oscar tonight for his role in Killers of the Flower Moon, where he plays this man. Who is this man? William King Hale. His Wikipedia page reads, an American political and crime boss in Osage County, Oklahoma, who was responsible for the Osage Indian murders, for which he was later convicted. He made a fortune through cattle ranching, contract killings, and insurance fraud. Born in Hunt County, Texas, Hale worked as a cowboy in Texas and Indian Territory before settling in what would become Osage County around 1900. By the 1920s, he had amassed substantial influence in the county where he ordered the contract killings of Osage woman Molly Kyle's family in a criminal conspiracy to gain control of their head rights. So he is playing a pillaging white racist mass murderer this year, for which he's nominated for an Oscar, but says, I could never play Trump because I don't see any good in him. So he could find the humanity in him, but not Donald Trump. That's amazing.
Listen, I've been spending a little time out in Hollywood. I haven't gone Hollywood, but I've been spending some time out there. And yeah, man, it's full of these people, just like New York. This is what I keep complaining about. This is what I wrote a whole article about. It's just the mainstream art scene is just fucking overrun with these people. And you know what? I'm going to look into our audience. Last time I bitched about this, a few people sent comments mentioning musicians and different people who are doing songs about Palestine, and I'm definitely going to take a look at that. What's interesting about that to me, and that is heartening, that is hopeful, it seems like where you're getting arts that are political, it's growing not out of the arts movement, but out of the activist movement, which I guess makes sense. Like the arts movement is just too overrun. So where you get people doing this, they're coming out of a completely different sector of society now.
Right, and the arts are such that,
because these people are going to gatekeep you. They're never going to let people like that get anywhere.
Right, and look, there is a craft to acting, just like there's music is a craft, right? So it just because you're an activist doesn't make you a good artist, but to be a truly good artist, you have to have some sort of conviction and something to say. And so the people with craft have nothing to say, and a lot of people with something to say have no craft. As an audience member, I'll take the person with something to say and less craft over the person with craft and nothing to say every time. That's why I think even when his movies are bad, they're more interesting than the average movie out there because he has a point of view. So even when he doesn't execute, I thought that World War II movie he made was objectively pretty lousy. But it had a point of view. It had something to say. It was interesting to watch, much more interesting than
which movie
a
was
boilerplate Miracle at St. Anna, I think, about the Black World War II fighters. That movie was, or the Five Bloods that came out a couple years ago about Vietnam. That I actually thought was good and fun. It was kind of all over the place. That movie was 6 different genres in one. Gesundheit.
I liked it.
I liked it. Good. It was it was a chase movie. It was a heist movie. It was a war movie. It was kind of all over the place.
I thought it worked, though. I liked it.
It worked because it had a point of view. It had something to say, right? It was interesting. And I'd rather see an interesting person try something and fail than a guy like De Niro with nothing to say come out and maybe give technically a better performance, right? But this is part of why we're going to do this segment at the end because it's Oscar day. This is part of why Hollywood is really struggling because it seems like post-Obama, they had nothing to say. Second term of the Bush years, Hollywood had something to say. That's when you saw movies like Good Night and Good Luck, Syriana, even a movie like Brokeback Mountain at the time was edgy because gay marriage had just been soundly rejected the year before it came out. They had something to say back then. Now they have nothing to say except, well, Trump is a monster. He makes me feel bad, and I don't want to feel bad like I did in 2016.
I mean, I honestly, we're going to start doing lib memes of the week. 80% of the ones that I poll are going to come from the people in the arts I still know. That I still follow because the idiots that I saw the day after that speech posting those memes were all actors and playwrights, including I've mentioned before. I have a very famous playwright I'm friends with on Facebook, and it's really shocking because some of these people are really artistically gifted. I just don't understand how you could be so incurious in such a consequential area that has so much bearing on your work as an artist. I don't get it. How you cannot just pick up some Thomas Frank, man. You don't have to go full fucking Das Kapital. Like, like just a little curiosity, like just to find out maybe what people you don't agree with think.
Yeah,
Nothing.
or people
Like
whose lives are a nightmare. People who aren't movie stars, who couldn't imagine what went
who
wrong in
aren't
America.
famous playwrights.
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Can't imagine what could have gone wrong in America that would lead to the election of Donald Trump.
Right.
Yeah.
I usually keep my mouth shut because I want to be able to keep an eye on them. It's like I have the most absolutely foaming at the mouth Zionist on my page, and I just hold back from ever responding because I'm like, look, man, that is like your one listening post into that world. Shut up.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. You don't want to get blocked. You don't want to get blocked.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Well, this is why my thinking, if I want to do something like Enemy of the People, I would rather take activists and train them than try to take actors and enlighten them.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. That's the point. You'd rather have someone with a point of view than someone with craft but no point of view.
Yes.
Right. It always makes for a more interesting show.
Please clap.